we're back with more on the WHHI News. Mike Wagner of Shore Service, the Beach Patrol Director, joins me now, a familiar face. Hey, you've got something fun going on right now, and that is your Lifeguard Competition. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's a 3-night competition. The second and third night will be this coming Monday and Wednesday. So all of our guards are going to be competing in swimming events, running events, so it's a lot of fun. And
people really love watching it, don't they?
They do, particularly if you get there Wednesday night at Coligny for beach flags. That's easily the best spectator sport.
Explain the beach flags competition.
You've got, it starts with about 12 people, give or take, that are face down, whistle blows, they jump up, and behind them are flags that are 60 feet apart.
Wow.
I'm sorry, 60 feet from where they're starting.
Right.
And it's just, if you don't get one, you're out.
Okay,
so there's always
like musical
one,
chairs,
exactly.
I think you told me once.
There's always one fewer than the people in the event. So
I mean, your lifeguards have to be in pretty darn good shape, so you're going to see some athleticism, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. The people that win it are
amazing.
Insane.
Yeah. Wow, lots of news lately about stingrays. I know the Island Packet had a whole big article on it and how to avoid getting stung. How's that going this year? Do we get a lot of stingray incidents?
We do. We have a lot of stingray wounds. I would say this time of year is particularly usually busy. I think the things to know, the stingray shuffle can help, just shuffling your feet.
And what does that do if I don't pick up my feet and pound into the water, and really even in shallow water, right? Because they can be beneath the sand there in shallow water.
Yeah, stingrays are bottom feeders, so that they're sitting on the bottom. If they feel you coming because you're shuffling your feet, they'll be more likely to scatter away, but also you won't step directly on it.
And speaking of which, you were kind enough, I was going to pick up the pen, which wouldn't have worked. This is an actual barb, do we call it?
Yeah, barb from
this thing, and I poked you with it when you gave it to me. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But this thing is brutal. It's big. It's got, what is this on the edges? What would you call it?
They're serrated little spines on the side.
Not fun.
Not fun. That is a large barb. They can be about that big down to about the size of a pin. But the thing is, it's not the size of the barb. There's a toxin on it that is extremely painful.
Right, and if you don't get that attended to, you can wind up in some serious trouble, right, with infections and the like?
Exactly. What we always tell people is we're going to put a hot pack on it. We're going to recommend people get it in the hottest water they can stand, which is usually about 114 degrees.
Right.
And that helps take the pain away. A trip to the hospital to try to get the pain taken away, they're going to stick it in a bucket of hot water.
Same thing.
So even the hospital tends to prefer get the
person in the hot water.
Get them in the hot water first, and then definitely go get it looked at later.
Yeah, because of infection. Now, do you guys pull it out, or does the hot water make it come out, or what do you do?
Most of the time, the barb is not intact. It can be, but usually it's not in this. Usually, if anything, just bits of it might be left behind, but not the whole thing.
Yeah.
And we would call EMS to take it out.
Have you ever stepped on one?
I have not, fortunately.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. This is interesting to me. Lost people, because it happens all the time on the beach. A kid will wander away, or someone can't find someone else. What's your recommendation? So
the first thing is, if you realize you're lost, don't keep wandering to try to find where you should be. Our lifeguards are in the high chairs up and down the beach. Our rental attendants are out in front of the blue umbrellas on the beach. Our trucks are driving up and down the beach. Say Beach Patrol on the side, stop one of us. We all have radios and can communicate. So typically, if you're either get lost or someone in your family gets lost, if both go tell the lifeguards right away, we'll get you back real quick.
And so you've had it happen where it's been very successful. So if someone has a young child, you should say, God forbid, if you're not watching closely enough and they get away, go talk to the lifeguard.
Right away.
Right? Everyone should do that. And like you say, the radios, you can say, well, I have a young boy here, his name is Matthew, and the parent can be talking to another lifeguard.
Exactly.
Because that can be scary.
It can be. We're fortunate to get the kids back with their parents and adults back with adults. Everybody
believe me, I've
tends to
gotten
get lost.
And speaking of which, you brought this, which is the markers, which are so helpful, because sometimes if you go on the beach and then you're going back to say, where did I go, come on, or go off? What about these markers?
Yep, they start at number 1 down in South Beach, go all the way to the end of the beach at 134. This sign has an A after it, just means it's between marker 88 and 89. Right. They're about 1/10 of a mile apart if they don't have a letter after.
So you can say to someone, I'm at marker 88, come find me. I've been, stepped on a stingray or something.
Exactly.
Good to see you again, Mike
Good
Wagner.
to see you.
Great. And I hope that lifeguard competition goes well.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And we will be back in just a moment.